So lastly, from my end, how then do we intensify the kinetic and non-kinetic approach or method?
Let me explain for the purpose of our viewers. Kinetic approach simply means the involvement of military action to neutralize non-state actors or agents of violence in our communities. Then the non-kinetic approach is employing other methods other than kinetic, employing track one diplomacy, that is government to government talk.
Dialogue.
Track two, which is between non-state actors and even state actors, having leaders of different groups, whether religious, social, and what have you, come together for discussions. You also have, you also use moral persuasion to, in the non-kinetic approach to, then if you take a look at what is happening in places like Borno State, there's a war going on, but the government is still embarking on construction of schools and what have you. So construction, development is also a non-kinetic approach to engaging people positively, because some of those people who may have been agitated due to lack of access to education will now be housed in those classrooms, in those housing estates and what have you.
Then that will reduce
then another angle to the non-kinetic approach, which has been criticized a lot, is the de-radicalization approach. That is getting those who have surrendered or those who were nabbed to go through a rehabilitation process. It is not just a Nigerian thing, it's something that has been utilized in other countries. I know that...
but that is different from amnesty, granting amnesty.
It's somewhat different, but you see, they're all non-kinetic approaches. Because the amnesty identifies you and then sponsors you to get a means of livelihood, and then your sins are forgiven. But in de-radicalization, you are made to go to serve a prison term, sort of. And then it is in the course of where you are housed, where you are in prison, that you are de-radicalized. And then by the time you're integrated back into society,
you'll be a changed person.
You are also provided with a means of livelihood so that you can sustain that new life that you have pledged to live. So that is one angle to it. So these are the non-kinetic approach. But for me, I'm an advocate of both. I like to use the carrot and stick. Because if you stick with one, it doesn't really... because there are issues that you may not have to handle with kinetic approaches, where you need to talk to people to de-escalate issues, where you can come to the table to resolve conflicts. You see things like maybe when two communities are fighting, and then at the end of settlement, you see them have traditional wrestling matches between those villages or football matches. Those are the non-kinetic approaches.
Come together
it brings people, it brings, it fosters peace, nation building, togetherness, and what have you. So for me, both approaches make sense.
Yes.
They make sense. But one of the flanks that we need to look at in our country is the fact that the judiciary and those of us in the media as well, we need to play our roles. Judiciary, I mean, is the fact that a lot of people are emboldened to do a lot of things, engage in criminality, because the judicial process is slow. And then we tend to lose interest. I mean, a lot of people do not know what becomes of the perpetrator at the end of the day, so it emboldens criminality. But if the judicial process was swift and the punishment method was heavy, a lot of people will desist from further committal of crimes.
I think you're right. They should really look into that aspect, because if judgment is given as at when due, you know that people will learn from it. But when an issue now it's so more prolonged years, one particular issue is just there, I think we should really do that. And this is one of the things that in the Western world they do faster than us. We need to borrow leave from
it is the sentiments. We play
exactly.
That's
what they say now. Everything is sentiment. Before you delay, just postpone it. Postpone. You get tired. You know.
If you look at the governors who were recently pardoned, it took 11 years to prosecute them.
Can you imagine?
And then they had barely spent some time as convicts, though. And then they are now pardoned. So what it tells us is that some other person might just do the same thing and expect a pardon. You know, so those are the issues that make the criminality or the state of insecurity still not controlled.
This sentiment is actually what is killing us more and more. Sentiment is saying that we are from the same religion, we are from the same tribe. We don't call a spade a spade. Then how do we want peace in our nation, Nigeria? How do we want this problem to be cured? So we can really do it. We can. We know these people. Everybody need to be involved. Sincerely be involved. Government be sincere in handling this matter. Our government is not sincere in handling. That is why the thing is lingering on. Because they know what to do. Somebody said we can mention them. Even those who are sponsoring them, they could be mentioned. So if people can come out, publicly and say we can mention those who are sponsoring these bandits, these Boko Haram and all, why will government sit on it? They will have asked the police come out and mention it so that we'll solve the problem once and for all. But no, and we want this problem to be solved. You think your families are secure? You think because you move around with the mopo and police all along that you're safe? No, that's not it. Many people have been dying. So those that die does not matter to you. Then you have failed as a leader. That is the truth. We have to tell ourselves the truth because enough is enough. Government, please sit up and do the right thing. We know the right thing to do that could solve this problem. But we know, please, can we do the right thing and let there be peace in the nation Nigeria? Nigeria is sweet, oh. Nigerian people are sweet people. Please, we have been cohabiting for a long time and will continue to be as one Nigeria. I somewhat believe in that. Our diversity is our power. Strength. It's our strength. I believe in that. So we'll take a break, now come back, enter question and answer session. Vivid View.
Say and do it.
Mr. Champion, my question goes thus. How do we tackle insincerity among security agencies in curbing insecurity in Nigeria? Thank you.
I'm Michael, and my question is, how do we trust our security agencies with vital information and the informer are safe?
My name is Onyinye, and my question goes thus. What role should youths play in the occurrence of an insecurity accident?
This is VVV.